that high fitness, I've learned that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what background you are. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. It doesn't matter if you're old. It doesn't matter if you're young. It doesn't matter your size, what you look like. It has hit me so much. This program is more than just being fitness. And it just hit me that I never wanted to work out in front of people. I hated it. I always dreaded it, but I knew that I needed to do it. And it's just, this made me feel more comfortable in my own skin. And, you know, it just was fun. And so anyway, it just blasted off from there. So I just kept going. It became a thing. It became a habit because I wanted to feel that every time. I wanted to, you know, just it. In high fitness, they want you to go to have that emotional weight lifted, that emotional feeling. And it's not about losing weight. It's not about dieting or anything. It's about how you feel and how you feel. And does it make you feel good? So that emotion, and that made sense why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And as I learned more about the program and everything, I was like, okay, I'm feeling all these things. You are achieving, this business is achieving what it came out to do. And I wanted to learn more. And so later that year, I came to find out that Emily Nelson, one of the co-founders, was going to come to Phoenix. And I knew right there I wanted to go, and I was going to do anything to go. Even I wasn't being an instructor then. I was like, I'm going to go. I don't care if I go by myself. I would love to go with some people. But I just knew even going by myself, I was going to feel a part of that community. And so I went, and I had so much fun. I didn't know anyone, but I actually did run into some people actually from the area, and we just had a good time. We had fun. It was just, the energy was amazing. And there's no negativism and nothing. It just, everybody made you feel part of everybody. And it just was amazing. And so I got to meet her afterwards for a bit. And so it was just fun. I just had so much fun. And even the instructors, they invited some instructors with her that taught in the area of Phoenix to join her on stage and everything. And just their presence, I wanted to get to know them more. And since then, I've been to some of their classes, and just their energy and everything just amazed me, and it made me want again to learn more, to know more. I myself just wanted to continue to grow and learn from this, and I wanted to keep feeling those good feelings I was feeling that made me feel like I was becoming who I was really meant for in this life. And so anyway, from there, it's such a long story, but it's so amazing. Anyway, so from there, I just kept going and kept doing. I wanted to be a part of anything, and I wanted to go to anybody's class if I could make it work with my schedule and with my family and everything. Of course, my family comes first and everything, but I know and coming to learn that it is important that we take care of ourselves, because we become a happier person for our family and for those we love. And, you know, I didn't really realize that until after I got married. And after having children, how much that is important. And I had a few friends before finding hip fitness that made me realize that, and finding yourself. And sorry, I'm so emotional about this.
You're fine.
But it is so much more, and you think that it's not, and you put yourself on that back burner. You're like, I'm here, you know, I just need to be here for my kids. I just need to make sure that they get what they need, they do what they need, and then we just forget about ourselves. And we forget about even sometimes our relationships and marriage could just be strained because we're not taking care of ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so this, like, I was finding something that was making me happy, that was that's something I really enjoyed, and that took me away. It was just that hour just took me away for a bit, gave me that reset I needed. And then I was there for my kids, happy and, you know, and loving life. Anywho, that was a tangent. So after it was in March, actually right around when COVID hit, that I began to feel like, actually before that, I had people coming up to me, asking me, are you an instructor? Because I just want to follow you and everything. Sometimes I can't see them and I want to follow you because you're just awesome and you're amazing. I go, oh, people I didn't even know. And so I was gaining all these friendships out of just going all the time. And so that was amazing. But I was like, it got me thinking. And at first I was like, no, I'm not ever getting up there or doing this. It looks too difficult, too much to memorize, too much to try to remember, and also keep, that happy face and give them the emotion and energy you need at the same time, the whole time. And so, because I know by the time towards the end of high fitness, the whole workout, I'm like, and so I don't want people to see that all the time. But anywho, so it just got me thinking. I was just like, and I was doing things. I actually am still currently teaching orchestra for one of the schools here, an after school orchestra, and I enjoy it and everything. But I've been doing that for a while, and I just felt I needed something. It was like, how do you put this? There's a time in the season for things, and I felt like there was something else I needed, and this was put in my path. And the more I thought about, the more, and I got more butterflies. I felt all like tight inside, and sometimes you don't realize, but those feelings really meant like, oh, maybe this is something I should be doing. I need to challenge It's good to challenge ourselves and to keep ourselves growing and learning. And I was like, well, maybe that's what I need to do, but I don't want to do it. But so I got thinking, and we're actually around my birthday in March, around COVID, I was hanging out with my sister-in-laws and everything, and just got thinking, and I just decided like a few weeks later that I was going to sign up. So the funny thing is, I did get this close to signing up around then, but I waited too long, because when I went to sign up again, they're like, oh, it's full. So I had to wait another month, and all this nerves and everything are piling up. I'm like, I just want to get it over with. Let's do it. I want to get trained. I'm just so nervous. So I signed up, and even just signing up, because you just do it on the computer. I just was like, I wanted this, all these butterflies and everything. And so I just knew I was meant to do this. I knew I was meant to share what I'm feeling with others, because there's others out there that may not know that fitness isn't for me. I am not that type. This is just, it's such an amazing program, and it just works for all levels of fitness and everything, and all types of people. Anyway, so I signed up, got my training done, and before I knew it, I was certified as of last September. Yeah, last September. This week, I hit my year mark of when I got training. The crazy thing is, I didn't actually get to really teach right away. So it still became, I knew, like, if this whole thing was, I felt like there was a blinder in front of me, but I had the faith and the strength to know this is something I need to do. But I never really saw and I still don't, I never saw the whole picture. I never saw the whole picture. And someone's saying something about no sound. Anyway, oh my God. I never saw the whole picture in front of me. I still don't. And I just feel like this veil is in front of me. I'm like, well, shouldn't I know what's going to happen? Shouldn't I know? But with my background and with my faith that I know that that's not always the case, and that you never are going to fully know your potential. But to me, in my faith and what I believe, God knows what is my potential, and I need to have faith in that and trust in that. And so I went by a lot of faith, because I struggled a lot to find the opportunity to teach in the beginning. And so, but Physique was really wonderful to let me do a few classes here and there on an evening class that she had, and so, or to help with, do a couple tracks. And so that got me still practicing and everything. And of course, just the nerves were always there, and they're always, I think, going to be there each time I get up in that front of people and everything. But that's the challenge that it's for me. Anyway, And so just recently, about a couple months ago, Halo Valley CrossFit, I walked into their doors and they told me, yes, we will take you. And so now I have the space to teach. And so I've been starting to teach there the last month and a half, 2 months. Actually, currently this week, I am doing a High Fit Kids camp. Yes, we do have a kids version of high fitness, which is amazing. I actually had that in the back of my mind to do that. I always thought of doing that because I've worked with kids before with orchestra and everything, and I knew I could do something like that. And so when the owner told me, she actually asked me because she does a CrossFit version for kids. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, well, let me get started with high fitness first. And we decided to do something this summer and stuff. And so anyway, so we're doing that this week and it went amazing. I'm hoping to post pictures soon. If anyone's not following me at High Fit Beast, Carolyn on Instagram, and High Fit Beast is my Facebook page. But I keep posting things there if you want to learn more about high and what I'm doing and my schedule and everything. Anyway,
Carolyn,
high is just amazing. It's aerobics, but it's back with a new attitude. And so it has different genres of music, ranging from country, pop, rap, even some old school, even to the decades like 80s, 90s, and even, the 2020 or the 2000s and everything. And so it really caters to a lot of people, and which is amazing. I love 80s music, so I'm so glad. Like whenever I hear one of those, I'm like, I'm so for that. I love it. Even though I was born in the mid 80s, I just love it and everything. Maybe my mom played it all the time, and I just enjoyed it. So and I really like a lot of genres. My mom listened to a lot of country and stuff. But yeah, like I said, I started with Zumba, and I felt like it was just a one zone for me, at least. And this just opened more possibilities. And so I feel also with me, I get a better workout with high fitness because they focus not only on cardio, but toning. And so they have tracks that focus on certain parts of the body that tone for that toning, and like the abs and the arms and the legs, and just they have the focus is there and you feel it. I'm not even gonna lie, you wouldn't think so at first, but you're like, oh, I got this is amazing, this is so easy. And then by the time the song's almost over, you're like, what did I get myself into? But in the end, you're just having too much fun to worry too much about the pain and the exhaustion you're in. Anyway, it looks really hard. Oh, I know. That's actually what I felt like in the beginning. It did look hard. It looked a little bit like, I don't know if I can keep up with this and everything. I was very exhausted in the beginning, but there's so we can modify to cater to those that can't do it's for all levels, and we can cater to you in the best way that your body feels in that track, in that song or whatever. Like if you can't do that full on burpee, just squat it out. As long as you're moving and you're having a good time, what else can you say? So, but it does look daunting. It does. It really does. It was very daunting in the beginning for me. But as I learned and became an instructor and learned of the different ways that it can be modified, and actually no one's really teaching it yet, but I hope to in the future. There's a new platform, a new formula, not new formula. I can't say it. That's the wrong way to say it, but there's a new module. Okay. It's the same thing as high fitness. It has the same intensity, but lower impact. It's called high low. And they take a lot of the same songs, but take out like the burpees and the tuck jumps and everything that's hard on those knees that maybe you don't feel up to doing and can't do. No, not at all. So, and then not everybody can have the energy that some of these people have. And it just amazes me, even me, like there's people that even have more energy than me. I'm like, how do you do that? How do you keep, like, how can I do when I became an instructor, I was like, how can I do a whole playlist? I don't know if I could do this whole thing and not be exhausted. But anyhow, let me see if there's anything else to say for that. But it works with all levels. And with high-low, we have 3 different degrees. We'll show you, okay, you can do it here. Here's level 1, here's level 2, and here's level 3. You know, you can stick to this level 3, which is the high level, or you can stick down here. We're, you know, no complaints. You know, you're here and we're excited. You're here. You're here. And there's a song that actually just came out. We have, and the cool thing that makes it fun, every week we have a new song. We call it the high song of the week, and it keeps people motivated. And we actually, and another thing is, I hope I'm not going back and forth too much, but another thing with each, not only do we have a new high song to keep people excited and happy and enjoying. Ooh, dropping the microphone. Anyway, I use my hands a lot when I talk. Anyway, with each track, it's not completely different. A lot of the moves are similar, and which the simplicity of that makes it easier to follow for everyone, because you're like, oh, I know this move. I did it in this song or this track or this cardio. I can do this. In the beginning, yeah, like I said, it's daunting. But the more you go and you just to have fun, the more you'll just be able to catch on and everything. Because I was like, girl, you got that down. I don't know how you're doing it. And then now I'm like, this is fun. This is amazing. It was fun even then. But it's just even more enjoyable. I can see not only physically, but emotionally how much happier I've become. And that emotional part is very important to me. Because like I said it earlier on, if you're happy and you feel like, actually, I want to quote one of my sister-in-laws. We were talking about this at lunch the other day. A lot of people say, like I would say, I feel like I'm at my best self. We're never going to be completely at our best self. We want to look at ourselves. This is my favorite part of me. This is my favorite. I really enjoy this part of me, and this what I'm going through right now. Because I feel and I know that this life, we're here to learn and grow and to perfect ourselves. We're never going to be completely perfect, but as we continue to learn, grow, and continue to find out who we're meant to be, you know, become your favorite person, become your best friend, because that's all that matters. No one else matters, you know, and we're all here trying to do the same thing. So if you worry too much about what that person is doing and what they're doing, you will lose yourself and of what you gained. So if you continue perfecting yourself and focusing on yourself, it's amazing what that can do to your emotions and your well-being. And you know, you may see those physical results, and that's amazing, but the most important thing to me is how you feel about yourself, and you need to, and that is important anyway. But I don't know what to say.
This is me. That's me.
I love community. I do, because you want to know something. I'm not from Arizona. I am originally, I was born in Rexburg, Idaho. Don't ask me any questions about Idaho. I was only there for a year. My parents were going to when it was called Ricks, if anybody knows Ricks, and now it's BYU, Idaho. I'm the oldest of 5, and I was their first. And so they're going to college, and, you know, here I come along. But anyway, and then eventually my parents, both their families lived in, my dad's family lived in Kansas City. Well, more in Kansas City area. And my mom's parents also lived in Kansas City, but the Missouri side. And long story short, that's kind of how they met. But anyway, so they wanted to move back. So they were just going to school. And so my dad got work, and he was able to move back to near where his parents lived. Anyway, so we mainly were just back and forth. I grew up mostly actually in St. Louis, Missouri area. So long story short, my husband's dad was working for the Air Force at Scott Air Force Base. I believe I'm trying to remember what it was called. That was across the river from St. Louis in Illinois. Okay. And so I was living in O'Fallon, Missouri, and my husband, Trevor, was living in O'Fallon, Illinois.
Oh, cool.
And that got confused on our wedding stuff. So long story short there. But anyway, so we met at his church thing. And originally he actually is from St. David. So anyway, I kind of knew in the back of my mind maybe that eventually we would be moving to Arizona. Who knew? Because he still had family here and everything. But yeah, so we got married there. I lived there for a bit. My husband's first job ended up being here. So he's like, okay, do you want to move across states? My family never really moved far. We've traveled to like Utah and stuff, but never completely moved. I thought of the idea, but I never thought how hard it would be. And because it was actually quite hard for me. How pregnant was I? I was pregnant before we moved. I was trying to think. My husband had to leave the year before I actually was able to leave. It was in December because we hadn't quite sold our house yet and hadn't quite gotten everything ready, but he needed to be out here to start his job. Luckily, his sister was living here, my sister-in-law, and so he bunked up with them for a few months until I could come out. So I needed to get to sell the house. But anyway, so I was about, I want to say 5 months pregnant.
Wow.
I was 5 months pregnant, trying to sell a house, trying to get whatever's left to pack up. All the stresses of like when I went to my doctors, like, oh, so you're going through all this pregnancy stresses while you're pregnant. And it actually wasn't too bad. Except for the fact of sleeping on an air mattress, but it was actually a really good air mattress and binge watching shows, and I got a lot of reading done. But anyway, so we moved out here we were currently living in Wood River, Illinois, and we moved out here from there. Not a wonderful choice, my mom would say, because she was like, you're taking my first I'm her oldest. You're taking my first grandchild away from me. I was like, I'm sorry. This is what we felt like we needed to do. Again, I had a lot of faith. No thought of what's the reason? Like, I never thought of there being a reason for me, but I thought, this is where our family is supposed to be. Okay. And this is where I'm supposed to be starting my family with my husband. So we did it. It was a little cultural shock for me because where I come from, I'm LDS. I am from the Church of Jesus Christ. I go to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And the culture difference was just like mind-boggling because where I come from, we're just this small little community and we're traveling far to get to these other places, far to get to church and everything. And then coming here and it just being right there, like literally walking distance, and your neighbor here and your neighbor there and your neighbor there, it might be LDS. And so it's just a little overwhelming. And the community being small was overwhelming as well because I came from a bigger community. And so I right away noticed a lot, like I know it was nobody's fault or anything and nobody's intentions of people already had a lot of people had family, deep roots and big families. They just got around with. There was friends that grew up with friends and they came from the same high school that went to the college. A lot of people, married from the EAC and everything. It just was this community of people that have been here for a while. And then coming from an area where coming here from an area where it was different. And so it was a little overwhelming. Like, how am I going to fit in? How am I going to find myself in this that felt like it was already set in stone kind of thing? And so, like, how am I going to make my connection with these people that already have connections? And so it was really hard. Like, I didn't realize in the beginning how hard it was going to be, but a lot of people were really welcoming, but finding friendships and everything was a little more difficult.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so I feel like I'm babbling, but anyway, so we've been here for about 8 years. And then probably about when my oldest, who is 7 now, almost 8. Yeah. So yeah, 8 years because I was pregnant with him when we moved here. I started someone asked me to do after school orchestra because eventually she couldn't do it anymore. So I took over that and I was like, okay, this may be something I can do right now. This is what my little niche into the community to get to know people. And and I really enjoyed it and I really enjoy it now. It had its fluctuations, sometimes the class sizes were big and sometimes they were small. We should be struggling. But like for a while that felt really good. That felt really right. And everything I felt like that was, and I got some friendships out of that. And then a lot of those friendships in the last few years actually have moved on and moved away. And then and then when COVID hit, not knowing too many people to begin with, I felt like those friendships that I had, nothing against anybody, but everybody, we were, sheltered in our little homes and away from the world and everything, and not being able to go out too much. And so socially, as women, we need that we need to be able to talk with other people.
Yeah.
I feel at least it helps us get to know ourselves better and everything and others. But I just felt like I was starting over again during COVID. I felt like I was, I'm still keeping connection with those friends, but they moved away. But the everyday life that you're here, you need those connections here. And so I started going, like I said it. This is kind of during COVID. I started going to, like, even before that, I was going to fitness and anyway, I just felt like there was something that needed to change. And I got to thinking, I'm a very prayerful person. It took a lot of prayer and thought and back and forth, because I have a hard time making decisions sometimes, actually probably quite frequently. So my husband and I both have that problem. So it's like, we have to talk to okay, what do you think about this? Because my husband and I can't decide on this. Anyway, and so trying to make decisions is difficult for me, because I really want to make the best one for myself. And so I did a lot of prayer, a lot of crying and everything. And just, I felt the task was daunting to become an instructor. I felt like it was just overwhelming, because I'm not normally, like, I don't put myself to be that person, to be that, like, everybody look at me kind of person. And so, like, I have it all right here. No, I don't. But anyway, so I knew already I was going to be nervous, and it was going to be a daunting task for myself. And just, there was a lot of times when I had self-doubt, and I was just overwhelmed and in an emotion. I'm like, why? This is really what I'm supposed to be doing. I love doing it. I'll keep doing it. Is that what something just kept telling me, you need to teach this. You need to share how you feel through high fitness. And so, and let everybody know your story, because like I said, we don't need to be a certain size. We don't need to be a certain person. And that's what I love about high fitness. There's such a community, and you just don't feel out of place when you go. And so, and for a while I felt that way, because this community is so tight and so, like, deep rooted.
Mhm.
It felt hard to find a connection. Nothing against anyone. Everyone is so friendly and nice and everything. But anyway, it just felt really hard to find a connection. And then when I found high fitness and figured out I was supposed to teach, I was like, this is my connection. This is my way to get to know people and people to get to know me. And it's funny, because I love dance. I love music. And so this is like, it was in my wheelhouse, but teaching it, like I said, was just very daunting. It still is.
You can tell that she's got a lot of energy, a lot of
everyone that's listening and hearing my story. I hope I'm reaching out to some people and that may be stuck in a corner and not knowing where their life is supposed to be going next. But I'm not saying come do high, come do fitness. I'm just saying you need to find that something that makes you your favorite person. And I thank my sister-in-law for, I knew I felt that, but I thank my sister-in-law for opening my eyes a little bit more in that, because we do want to find our best self, and we're all striving that, but let's be our favorite person and enjoy life. And if we all find our favorite person, and we're all that's another thing I like about high fitness. Not all instructors are the same. They're all different, and they all have their different strengths, and they're all unique and everything. And that's why I love going to other instructors' classes. And during my whole, like, after being trained and after being certified, I told myself I was going to keep going and keep growing from these other instructors. And they are all so amazing. I took something from each of them, maybe more one than the other, but I enjoyed each of them individually. And that's what also happiness is about too. You know, we all are here to build ourselves up and makes each of us help others find that favorite person that they enjoy so much inside themselves, and that they don't even maybe know that they enjoy in themselves. But anywho, but like I said, hypheness may not be your thing, but find your thing, you know, search. If it can be a struggle. Sometimes it takes a while, and to really find what you really are meant to be doing and I'm just so glad that I'm finally feeling my feet in this community. And who knows, I'm not saying I am, but like what if I move all of a sudden? No, this can't be happening. But we're supposed, like I said, we're supposed to continue to grow and learn. But this is where I'm supposed to be, and this is what's making me happy, and this is making me my favorite person, my best friend every day as I step out that door and go to do hypheness. Not, you know, if it's me teaching or if it's me going to someone's class, it gets me going. And I think earlier I said there's a song, the high song of the week coming up is by Pink, and it's I'm here. You're here. You may not feel like it was hard for you to get out that door and get to where you're going, but you're here, and that's all that matters. And you're here, and we are happy you are here. We're happy to get to know you and to get to know your favorite person and your best friend, yourself. And so I'm in awe of these women that put this together, Emily Nelson and Amber Zenith. They put a lot of thought. I feel they put a lot of thought into this, and a lot of thought into this program to make this community that they did. And it's like, it's grown, especially last year during COVID, when people were feeling very closed off from the world. They made sure to try to find a way so people can still do hypheness and still feel connected to the world. And that was amazing. And that was so fun, learning to do it through that way virtually. And they grew exponentially, and it's amazing. And it's only been around for about 6 years. And it's just amazing as I look at and as I follow these great, amazing women that head this up. It's just amazing how much, like I said, thought they've put into this and how much it's grown. I can feel it. I can feel that their emotion is in this. They want people to feel included. They want people to feel part of something. Even if you're not the greatest, you don't have to be the greatest dancer. Yes, they are. You actually can get a subscription. They're called High Fitness Live. If you go to High Fitness, I think it's .org or .com, High Fitness online, then in one of the tabs, you can look for classes, and it has a thing that says High Fitness Live, and you can I think they let you try it for free, like a week trial. And they have so many options, so many different times to get on. Like if you don't feel comfortable going out and being in the group setting, you can do it that way. And like I said, over COVID, we did it that way. And I still felt the connection, and I still felt the excitement I felt when I was doing it. It was so exciting to be able to go back to the gym. I was so excited to start doing that. But it was amazing that we were able to have that option. And some people, that is their favorite option. And that's why I'm so glad that they, this last year, at the end of last year, came up with the High Fitness Live option. And just reaches out to so much more people. And it's just, this community is growing continually. And it's amazing. Awesome. But yeah, so I love it so much. But you don't need to be a dancer. You don't need to be coordinated. I was not, like, I thought I was coordinated, but in the beginning I was so off balance, because there's some that we do that are bar versions, and I seriously was not able to stay up maybe the whole time or be able to, but like I said, there's modifications. And so I did quite a few modifications in the beginning. I pushed myself because I really wanted to be able to do the whole thing because it looks so fun. It looked fun to be
It does
doing.
look so fun.
Like I said, their energy just blew my mind. I'm just I never thought I would be in this area of, I was always in music. I was always in orchestra and choirs and did theater for a couple of things, did some community theater. But I never saw myself in fitness. And so and this kind of combined both my favorite worlds. I'm up there enjoying music and just having a good time. Like seriously, when I was a teenager, I made sure I was at every dance. I just loved just being there and just having a time of my life. I didn't care what people thought. Looking at me, I probably danced really weird, but I don't know. And so I didn't really care. And so it just was so fun. And that's actually one of the parts of my high school life that I miss, and our high school, middle school life that I miss. I missed being part of, like, I even show choir, just being able to do those things. And so I felt like myself was back. Like, I think I said early on, I felt like after, not after getting married, but after having children, adding that to the mix to this relationship, me and my husband were growing and having to take care of that child and then having another child and then having another child. You kind of like, they became my personality, I guess, because you're always trying to tend to them and everything. Okay, this one really enjoys this. Let's play it. Like I have to think about how to entertain them and everything. But I kind of I forgot to entertain myself. If you think about it in that way, we need to stimulate ourselves and entertain ourselves, not only our children. And so, it's all about, well, okay, what stimulates them? I got to keep them, stimulated. And, we need to do that for ourselves, an aha moment just now. We got to stimulate ourselves. And this is what stimulated me and made me feel back in school. It made me go back to my favorite person, my best self, like that version of myself that I really enjoyed. Jazzercise. You do not need equipment. Nothing. Just yourself, your beautiful, awesome, unique self. And the more unique people we have, the better. It's just, seriously, it is. It's like a big party up in here. And so it's just so fun. You'll just feel so included. If not, poke me and say, hey, I'm here. Okay. Anyway, or say, hey, I'm over here. I'll come over and start doing the little movements next to you. All right. So seriously, I will. Watch out. It's just so fun. Yeah. Being on stage, the cool thing about High Fitness, I love coming down and just being a part of everyone that's doing it. And so it just makes it feel so much more, awesome. And it just is. My favorite moments when I've helped teach or do a few tracks is those times when I've been with other instructors. You think the energy with just one instructor is amazing, but when you add those more instructors with all this different uniqueness and different backgrounds and different energies, it's amazing what it all can do. And to yourself and everything, and how amazing, it's just, oh my gosh, I just have so many words for High Fitness. I just can't stop talking about it and feeling so excited. And if I'm loud, I'm sorry. I get so excited about something I'm so passionate about.
That's so cool.
But yeah, it's so that's why I actually, this last weekend, out of the blue, at the beginning of the week, I noticed there was going to be an event at this one place for High Fitness. And I was like, okay, I'm going. Because it was one of the instructors I actually wanted to get to know really well. Her name's Jacqueline. I don't know her last name right now, but I follow her on Instagram. She's actually congratulations to her. The High Fitness program has ambassadors, and she just became an ambassador because she's just amazing. I came to find out from the event. Anyway, so I really, I put my foot down. I was like, I want to go meet this girl and meet her favorite person, her best friend. And so I want to meet her. I want to get to know her. So I'm not saying you all have to do this, but it was just in Phoenix. I asked my husband, I go, and I'm lucky enough to have in-laws who will babysit my kids. And so my son had his birthday the night before. I we did our party and everything, did family things. And then the next morning, at 6 a.m, I drove for an event that was at 9:30 in Phoenix, just because that's how much I love the high fitness. And I feel so much of this community that they were so welcome. She was so excited. She like heart on Instagram. I'm so excited that you're coming and everything. And this is, you're awesome to do this. It means so much. And she doesn't know me. She doesn't know me that well at all. And to make someone feel, oh my gosh, feels, I can't put my words anyway, to feel like that, to feel like you mean something, is amazing. Just it's amazing what a smile can do. It's amazing what a few words can do for a person. And just, because that's another thing in high fitness. I'm all smiles about it. So you probably won't see me with a sad face. But I hope I can make you feel welcome if you do come to one of my classes. Right now, I'm not enjoying my schedule too much because it's just hard. It's summer and everything. So I'm hoping once school starts, I can start having a better schedule where people can come and more and everything. But anyway. Oh, do you see a change? I haven't yet personally, like as an instructor, because I've only been teaching my own class for a couple months. But just within those couple months, a couple people at Gila Valley CrossFit, one of the coaches or one of the trainers, I think that's what they're called, wasn't so sure. He's like, I'm not a dancer or anything. I go, I know how you feel. Because I can dance. But this is a different kind of dance. This is fitness. This is like, you have to be like, okay, your feet need to be pointed out this way or it's going to hurt, or it's different. And so if you are actually more of a fitness person, it might be something that is really like is up your alley if you're really into fitness. I like actually mixing high fitness with bar, because bar is a little slower, but I feel like it really focuses on the same body parts for me that high fitness does. And so it just kind of strengthens those parts of my body to that I'm more able to stand high fitness, because it can be hard on your body, all that cardio and jumping around and everything. Anyway, about a change in my students, I actually just in a couple months, this coach, this Gila Valley CrossFit coach, brought a friend, and then I had a couple other people that knew me before that came to enjoy it, to come because they just enjoy it to begin with, and they just knew what to expect and everything, and to do it from me, they were excited. But anyway, this coach from Gila Valley CrossFit told me afterwards, that was actually really fun. I really enjoyed that. And she was like, and then the girl he brought, I was like, that was a lot of fun. You'll probably see me again. And so just from that class and those couple of people, it just, even just one person saying that makes me feel so good, because that's what I'm trying to do. That is what my mission is to do, is to make people feel included and to feel a part of something that is fun. Like fitness, high fitness is all about it's about being fun. The fun factor, it's there. That's why there's constantly, they're constantly putting new music out, and they're trying to put different genres for people. When I did high fitness at Physique, and I still do it currently because I like to support my other instructors. I haven't seen her in a long time. Before COVID, I saw her, but seriously, I think she was like 80 something. She couldn't do all the moves or anything, but just watching her, because they have this mirror behind them, just watching her behind me, it was amazing to see. I'm like, I wish when I'm that age, I could be doing what she's doing. And to give some credit to one of the instructors there, Margot, the owner of Physique. I remember this moment where I was looking in the mirror, and when we were in the middle of something, she personally went back and to help her, because she seemed to be struggling with one of the moves, and to show her how she can do it. And like I said earlier, I take from these instructors, and I want to be my best self, be the best instructor I can be for others. And that really resonated with me, what she did. And it amazed me, and it made me cry. I think I cried a little bit. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. That's really amazing what she did. She just took the time while teaching this class to go back and just kind of help her feel comfortable with that move. And I've witnessed that with a few instructors and everything. And it's just, And I bet that ladies would like, she felt special at that moment. And that's what we want to do. And I haven't seen her though. And so I hope she's okay. But it was just amazing to see her. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I do love it. It makes me feel young again. And I'm like, yes, I beat my head. You know, we all did it. We're all driving our cars with the windows down with our favorite song blasting out. We're screaming it. And you know, the funny thing is, I didn't do it as much. I probably, because most of the time I'm listening to nursery rhymes and stuff for my kids. But when I'm in the car myself, I do now, like I'm doing it again. I'm blasting, like I know that's a high song. I call it a high song. That's a high song. And I literally start breaking down, if I can, one of the moves in my car. And I'll post it and be like, okay, girl, you know you're addicted to high when you do the move from this high song while the song's playing on the radio. But anyhow, but yeah, so yeah, I'm because for a while my husband like, we would have the music on and he'd turn it up and I turn it back down. I go, I don't want it that loud. It's too loud. And since doing high, I'm like, okay, that's a good song. Let's turn it up. So, anyway, what time are classes right now? Since I'm doing High Kids Fit Camp this week and next week. This week I'm doing the younger group, which is 5 to 9-year-olds, and it's been really sweet. Today was the first day, but it was really, really fun. Anywho, I'm only doing evening classes this week, and the earliest I can do is 7:30 at Gila Valley CrossFit. So I have one on Tuesday, tomorrow night, and Thursday at 7:30. Your first class is free. Actually, this Tuesday is free to everyone. So it'd be a good opportunity to bring friends and try it. If you haven't tried it, if you've tried it, come anyway. You know, the more the merrier, because those that have been, you are actually, even though you may not be an instructor, you're helping those that have never been as well learn to enjoy it, and maybe that's something they want to do. But yeah, it's free because, like I said earlier on, this week marks my year mark for my training, and I just wanted to treat my clients or whoever may come in on Tuesday to a free class, because I just love high fitness and I want to share that with you guys and share my accomplishments with you all. And those that can't come. But anyway, yeah. So about a year ago, I had my training and everything, and it was amazing. It was all virtual, and which was interesting, trying to get trained virtual when normally you go to, like, for example, Phoenix or anywhere else that may be close enough that they train at, which is starting to do those again. I don't know if I think they're still doing virtuals as well, but anyhow, it was interesting. Like I said, my in-laws are amazing. My husband's amazing. He saw how important this was for me and saw the growth in me, and that they took my kids, and for the whole day I had the house and I was training, and it was fun and intense and all in one. Anywho, so yeah, I have evening class this week and next week. So hopefully in the future I'll have some morning ones after that. So, but the earliest in the morning,
totally slow.
I actually have never done Tai Chi before. I don't know if I'll be interested or not. I'll have to look it up again, but I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
Very slow.
But I always say, try something once.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said earlier, high fitness may not be your thing, but like find that thing that gets you away, just to be able to reset yourself and makes you, and to become closer to your best self. And I do. Some of my family, though, because it was hard in the beginning we felt like I didn't know exactly where I was going to be teaching. I had ideas in my mind what I want to do, plan A, plan B, plan C, so forth and so on. And I didn't have quite an idea, but yes, that support was like, because I have to pay a monthly subscription, even when you're not teaching per se, but you can pull that subscription away. Like for example, which is amazing. Like say I get pregnant, I'm not pregnant. Say I get pregnant, I can take a few months off from that subscription. And for so long, I think it's like 4 or 6 months or whatever, and still not have to redo training and everything and all that, and go back and get my subscription going again. The subscription, it helps with licensing, music's licensing and all that stuff. So I'm paying this subscription, and I was teaching a couple tracks at Physique once a week in the evening and not getting paid, which I didn't mind. I didn't mind at all. It was getting me the practice I needed. But I was hoping, you hope that you're getting some gain from this, at least make that return back of that subscription. That's all I was hoping. I was at least hoping for that, because that's how passionate I am about doing this, that if I can at least make back what I'm paying into High Fitness, that would be fine with me. But anywho, so yeah, back to the support from my family. It was amazing. It was hard for my family that lives in St. Louis, because they only see so much of the story and know so much. They didn't see my whole, from the beginning. And so my parents, I was always in music, and they always knew that. They believed that to be my past, because they saw my potential in that and everything. But when they saw me all of a sudden take this, I don't know, but you can't say it was a complete 180, because it still deals with music and everything. I'm still, where these things are choreographed to music, and dance and stuff. So anywho, it was hard for them to see, fitness, Carolyn, fitness, Carolyn. I go, yes, I understand. I didn't see myself in this area of the field at all.
Me neither.
And so I just took it on, and they still supported me. They still were there, even though they didn't completely understand my reasonings because they just weren't here to witness the whole thing. They saw what most people saw on Instagram, my story, what I went through and everything. And as I progressed, and when I finally figured out this is what I wanted to do, and I posted, if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I've posted a few of my stories that were what happened along the way. Thank you. Along the way, that helped with the progression of me finding out this is what I need to do. A big part of that, like I said, there was one instructor that really, really showed me this is what I want to do. And I took little things from each instructor's, like this person, her bubbliness, I love that. Or this person and her very on point of all the moves. I'm like, how do you remember each of those moves? You're so good. This person who just seems so at ease, doesn't seem like she's nervous at all. And so, and then this one that has all this energy. I'm like, that's what I want. I want that. And so it's just amazing. But yeah, my family was it was hard. Going back to that, it was hard when I wasn't getting a place to teach. And, love my husband to death. But, as we deal with our finances and everything and our budgeting and stuff, he's like, well, you're paying for this, he sees, and then you're not getting anything in return. And I just had to kind of remind him, I go, I know, but I know, and I know, as you've seen me go through this, that this is making me happier. This is making me the mother I need to be. This is helping me, helping me be the mother to be. That's better wording for that. Helping me to be the mother I need to be, helping me be the wife I need to be. It's hard to remember the moves sometimes. Yes. Don't worry. We're here. I even don't remember the moves either. Sometimes when I'm up there, and it's funny when you go to see an instructor, and then afterwards the instructor comes to you because they know you're an instructor, and goes, I'm so embarrassed. I messed up that move in the beginning. I'm so sorry. I go, what are you sorry about? I probably messed up tons of moves and everything. And I'm still, I'm in the beginning, I'm still learning and everything. And I like, what? They didn't even know we were all having fun. Even if I knew.
Yeah. Nobody else
who
knew.
cares, Keep up
Yes.
with the moves and everything. I was so Tai Chi here. Sorry, not my wheelhouse.
Tai Chi is really fun. I'm here in Safford. I teach Tai Chi
Yes,
too.
yes. Teaching is different. That's why it was so daunting in the beginning, because I was like, this is not, I've never taught this before. There's so many things that I need to learn. Like during training, we earned different badges, and we couldn't get certified if we didn't earn all those badges. And it made me feel like I was at Girl Scouts again. But so we have these badges we have to earn. And like one was for like, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember now, for cueing. So people know, because the music can get loud. And so we have to physically be able to show you cueing, or be able to yell, jump, or burpee, or move to the, or just left, right, tuck, ham, like ham meaning ham, leg lip. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, squat. We gotta. So I learned from I was just being a participant who was just enjoying it. I still enjoy it. But going from being a participant and then having to also add the cueing in and the energy. Seriously, that was one of them. Energy was one of the badges. Adding that, having that energy continually throughout the workout. And being able to take those little breaks that are needed for us as instructors as well. Having the energy, cueing, the technical stuff, because they choreograph all this music and they want everybody to do it this way. That's why it makes it so much feel more like a community, because it's all the same. Wherever you go. Cool. You can go to Missouri. You can go to Utah. Actually, Utah is where one of its headquarters is Utah, and also in Canada. I think it's Calgary, but don't get me wrong. I'm sorry, Canada. Anyway, and so anywho, and you can go to Utah and go to here and anywhere in Arizona. Any instructor, it is all the same. Yeah, maybe a little tad different here and there, but that's what makes us all unique. But for the majority of it is all the same music, everything. And so that's why one of the badges was the technical, so that we can have that down and be able to do it a correct way. So much that we had to do 2 songs for the training. We had to do a toner and we had to do a cardio, and we got to choose from a list. And so that was also hard because I have a lot of favorites. But so we had to focus on that. And I on my toner, the person that was, there's a person that not physically, but like personally will email you or whatever, go back and forth to tell you what you need to improve on this and everything. So I didn't get it right away. One of the songs, she's like, oh my gosh, you have so much energy. That was amazing. This one you have down. And then she's like, well, this one, even though she made me feel amazing, she knew that, like with the whole learning and growth, she knew this one needed to be a little more technical, correct. And so with the toner, I struggled a little bit because it just felt like I really get into the music sometimes. And so the toners can be a little difficult, and you really need to focus on those parts of the body. And so I was bouncing a lot, and you weren't supposed to be bouncing. So I'm like, and she's like, okay, no bouncing. And then you just need to focus on it. And with music, with orchestra, I'm always on a different count. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and you repeat that. With dancing, with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Yes. And so in my head, I keep counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so this toner I was struggling with because the timing just seemed off to me because of my musical background with strings and everything. And so it was a struggle. But this instructor, this girl, her name is Meta. She's amazing. She personally Marco Polo'd me to show me exactly how to do it. This is how, like, this community, they really want you to succeed, and they really want you to do well. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
Thanks, Dana.
It makes me feel so good. Thank you. You're pulling at my heartstrings here.
Yes, be sure everybody to hit the like button. Thank you.
Tell people about it. I just want to share the love. Even if you don't come to my class, follow me on Instagram. I'm on there sharing, my love for fitness and love for just life. Anywho, but like, so this girl, Meta, amazing person. She put me on a personal level with her. She made me feel like we just had this automatic friendship that we're friends. We're friends. I'm going to tell you how to do this in the best way that you feel good and to help you learn and grow in the best way that I can teach you. And so she personally, from her home, Marco Polo'd me and made sure I had this down. And then like, and within it was amazing. So within like a couple weeks, I finally got, or actually I think it was like just a week. I finally, after Marco Pointer, and I Marco pulled her back my, my video and everything. And so eventually I did get it. And it just, even the training, everything was a learning process and everything. And you don't just, I'm still growing and learning with each song and with each track. And that's why I believe I said earlier, I enjoy going to other instructors because I continue to learn. And because each instructor chooses their playlist, chooses their workout segment. They choose their toners, they choose their ab. Usually the high song of the week will be in with each of those instructors. So you'll probably get that from each of the instructors. But each of the songs that can be completely different, or they can be similar, the same. Some of the songs be similar to somebody else's. And so as I go to other instructors and I continue to learn from them because they'll be doing a different song or a song I hadn't done in a while. So it's amazing. Like there's so many songs. So it's a little overwhelming okay. Awesome. Again, yeah. So at High Fit Beast, Carolyn, we want to get that because there was another Carolyn in Phoenix that she was High Fitness Carolyn. I was like, okay, I needed, like, I had a hard time trying to figure out something. And then funny story though, she changed hers. And so I could have had it later on, but it's until they were like, oh, that's cool. Because at first I'm like, oh, I don't know. But really, if you ask anybody, I'm pretty much a beast on the floor. So and, they're like, man, I wish I had your energy. How do you do it? And so, but the cool thing is, like, I've learned with myself, and that's the reason I knew I needed to be an instructor is I'm able to have that energy for those that can't keep up with that energy. And so there's where the modification comes in. So if I see like someone like seems like, oh gosh, I can't do this tuck jump, I automatically registered lately because of being an instructor. I'm like, okay, I need to show this modification. And we're required to show the modifications, especially more in the beginning of each of the moves. And sometimes before, like if I knew something's going to be difficult, I'll talk in the beginning a little bit real quick and say, okay, we're going to be doing some burpees. But if you don't feel up to doing those burpees, or if you get tired of doing those burpees, this is what you can do. And so I really strive to be very alert to my people that come in to be high fitness. I really am alert to their needs. I try to be. And that's why, like, when I was going to other high fitness stuff, I seem to be really attentive to that. Someone told me once, you like to just, like, I sit back and just watch people and try to learn from them and you're just really interested in people. Like I worked for the Quick Trip gas station when I was in college, and you just really need to be a people person. And so sometimes when maybe even just at lunch, like I would just be sitting there, I'm like just taking in the surroundings and learning, people. Not that I'm weird or anything, or I'm not stalking or anything. I don't know. I found it really interesting to find why people do this, why people do that. And so I tend to be a little alert to that. And I noticed that as I was getting trained and everything, and go, this is another reason why I'm meant to be this, because I have that tendency to be alert to other people's needs and see what they need. And be like, okay, I need to modify this. I see that person is having trouble with this. I need to modify that. Of course. And so I'll switch it up and everything. And I'm noticing that tendency with me, that I have that tendency to be able to do that. And I'm very grateful for it as I grow and learn about that. Not because I knew from the beginning, people would tell me, you have all this energy. I knew that. I was like, I knew that. And I'm like, because I enjoyed it so much. I wanted to do the best I can. And I'm just all over the place enjoying it. And sometimes I felt like I was taking a little too much space because I just was so into it. And like, I don't think people wanted to be near me because I took up all this space. Like, sorry, I'll go a little smaller. I just loved it. I love it so much that I
Yeah.
just get so into it. And so don't be
Yes.
scared by it. I hope you're not scared by it, but I hope it makes you know, like, man, she is enjoying herself. So anyway, oh yes,
We're just at an hour.
thank you so
So,
much.
yes, thanks everybody.
And I reached out to my family. I know that you not being here, but I think this helped my family also learn more about my story, and I'm grateful for you
Good.
and my family that
Cool.
supported me today and reached out and watched and everything.
Yes.
Because it's hard being away from family. Like
Yes.
that was another thing. With COVID, I couldn't go out. Well, I could have, but we decided not to go out to see my family this last Christmas. And so because of COVID, and a funny story short, we got COVID in January. And so I'm like, what if we didn't? I mean, like if we went, would we still get it? Because I got it we got it from somebody here. And it's like, anyway, but like that was really hard. It was really hard. So we were able to take a little trip closer by as a family. And but anyway, it's really hard to be away from family, especially holidays, because my family resonated in me. That family was really important. And that's probably another reason why it was so hard to realize I also need to find what I enjoy and like, because I was so destined to, or so adamant about making sure my family was happy and making sure we did this and did that, because family is so important to my family, to my parents, in that they really instilled that in us, and that's wonderful. But we also sometimes, when we need to, like I said, find ourselves. And I was so so adamant about making sure my family was happy and everything, that, like I said, I had lost myself along the way a little bit. And after having my third child, that was really hard too, because my children are not too far apart in age, and they're about a year and a half, 2 years. And so, but they all are in different parts of their life. And so like this one needs me for this one needs me for that, or this one. And so I'm being pulled here and there, and then lost myself. And I wanted to make sure they were each happy, and each, figuring out what their likes and dislikes were, and making sure my husband was happy and everything, that he was getting his meals and everything, and just making sure he was happy, as well as my children. And so family just was really important, making sure we had those traditions and making those new traditions with my family, which are wonderful. But if we're not happy while doing it, something needs to change. I'm not necessarily that what you're doing with your family needs to change, but something in you needs to change. And high fitness is only an hour. Well, really, actually, it can be, they have different setups. There's 45 minutes, 55 minutes, and 60 minutes. I started with a sample class, which is 30, but they don't recommend doing that. They don't want us to do that. So it's either 45 minutes, 50, 55 minutes, and 60 minutes. So it's only an hour of your time for yourself, like I try to be consistent with reading my scriptures, and that they also, with that, it's with anything. You don't need to take a lot of time to be able to reset yourself, but you need to take the time.
Yes.
Even if you have that, even if you have a short 10 minutes here, short 10 minutes there, you need to make that time important for yourself, and make sure you're doing something for yourself at least part of that day, each day. I love high fitness, and there's so many different things I enjoy. I enjoy just sitting on the couch and not doing anything. And so I'm not active all the time, but our bodies do need to have that time where we're not active, and our brains can just slow down and think and ponder. Like I seriously was really nervous about today. And I told myself, Carolyn, you need to sit down and just put the TV on so you don't have to think about it. And so I did that today. I was binge watching one of my shows it was maybe not even for a full show, because my kids were napping, and they all of a sudden, one woke up, then the next woke up, and the next woke up. But that 30 to 40 minutes just gave me that reset to calm my nerves a bit, and be able to be here for you all and to tell you my story. I still have the nerves. I still had the like, but I was more excited and felt more ready emotionally and everything. And so to share my story, I was more excited to share this story, my journey that is still going on as I am teaching high fitness and growing and learning about high fitness. I really I just want to share it with everyone. Even if you don't enjoy it and love it, just come try it once. And you can probably see just from that once,
Yeah.
see what I mean. It may not, like, you may not come again, but just to know there are things out there that can change people, that can change you and your perspective of others. And because, like, when I don't know, some people that when they think fitness, they're like, it can be daunting, especially for someone that doesn't normally work out or doesn't normally go other places to work. They work out at home, and it can be daunting and can be just nerve-wracking. Like,
Mhm.
I was very nervous when my first class going to a group fitness class doing Zumba at Physique. I was very nervous. Not and I didn't know anyone in the class. It's quite funny because I didn't really know anyone as I kept going to high fitness. I didn't really know anyone. None of these people I don't really hang out with or anything. And uh, uh so that was a little hard actually, because I was like, maybe I want to be doing what my friends are doing. I want to do what they're doing, but I'm enjoying this. But
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
close to me was doing this.
Yeah.
But along the way, they've tried once and like, okay, Carolyn, you do really good at it. But for me, this isn't for me. A couple, like, one of my sister-in-laws, she's like, she was in town one time and I was going to teach a couple of the tracks, and she's like, okay, I'll come and try. She hadn't done it before. And at the end, she's like, Carolyn, I am never doing that again. I enjoyed it. The music was fun, but it's just not for me. And I was like, that's okay. I am just so happy that you came and saw what I enjoyed. That that made me happy. That made me feel good. But yeah, that made me think actually just now. We need to be our cheerleaders for our friends.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and even if it's something that you don't enjoy, just going and trying that one thing once, or doing that one thing for a friend once,
Yes.
shows them that you are supporting their favorite thing, their thing at this time, that's making them happy and making them feel good and feeling they are their favorite person and their best friend. Um, Coming back to that best friend thing, like I said, I didn't know anyone really going to these fitness classes, but something told me to keep going, to keep doing it, because it was making me feel good. It was making me feel something that I hadn't felt in a while. So anyway, and so it's like, okay, because sometimes you're gonna, nothing against anyone. I didn't lose any friendships, but sometimes you'll lose friendships when you're trying to find yourself, because that's just
Yes.
not, they
All
won't
the
follow
time. Yeah.
you. They won't do what you're doing. But you are feeling good what you're doing, keep doing it,
Yeah.
because that is meant for you. Through this
Yeah.
whole process, my family's had their ups and downs about it, but they've been supportive. They've been supportive, but they've been up and down about it. They're not so sure if this is what you're supposed. Carolyn, maybe this is just for you emotionally. Maybe this is something that is just, it's supposed to be there to make you happy and to make you get that reset that you need. But no, something just kept on telling me, no, I need to teach this. And also, what was overwhelming, there was already instructors here that were doing
Mhm.
awesome at it. And so I just felt a little overwhelmed. I was just like, no, there's no space for me here. But there was, and there
Yeah.
is, and I
Yeah.
know there is
Definitely.
in there. And they made me feel included, even though there was already, like, 3 or 4 instructors. Um, I just knew this was what I needed to do, and it was part of my whole thing. I have my religion, I have my family, I have, and then I have my high fitness, that this is my thing. And I'm feeling more complete and more my favorite person. And so it's just, because we don't all need just one thing. And I feel like we need many things to help complete us as a whole. And so
Yeah.
that goes along with, I think, the continual growth. Like, I love teaching orchestra. I love teaching. The kids I've taught through the years have been wonderful. I see their talents and I see their struggles and everything, but I continue to help them and help them grow. And that was a time and season I'm planning on still teaching, but I don't know how much longer, but who knows? I don't know. But right now, I feel this is my journey. My journey is high fitness and teaching people what I've learned about myself through high fitness. And so it's a different age group, totally, completely. And so that's daunting. Thank you.
That's
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
thanks.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's daunting because I'm young at heart. I may be in my 30s, mid 30s, but I've always been young at heart. I've always been like, my sister and I are pretty close in age. I have one sister and we're the oldest of our family, like in my little siblings group. I have 3 younger brothers, and they always thought she was the older one, the more mature. She just looked more mature and more, I just was the immature looking one and young. I tended to have more friends that were actually younger than me and that I connected with better. So going into high fitness, that was another thing. I'm like, I'm going into this fitness. These people that are older than me, these people that are even the same age as me, was daunting, and so it just was very, it was very daunting, very hard because like I'm used to teaching kids. I'm used to being friends with people that have kids the same age as my kids, and they tend to be actually, me and my husband, when we got married, we didn't actually have kids right away. It was just a process. We really felt like we needed to learn to grow closer to each other and learn more about each other. I didn't have kids until about 5 to 6 years into our marriage, which in my religion doesn't seem to be very common. But the funny thing is I actually ran into a few people along the way that had the same kind of story, which made me feel more comfortable and everything about talking about my story about that. But, I love my boys, and they did come at the right time and in my right time in my life, and my husband and I's life, and they're amazing. Anyway, so, I totally went off again.
Yep.
Um,
Yes, that's right, Dana. Do our
back to
best.
I've always been young at heart, and I just very giddy person. Um, uh, uh, very, very, very reserved, afraid to do anything wrong, afraid to just do anything. And so anything that put me out of my comfort zone, and my sister was the go-getter. She was just like, oh, put it in front of me, I'll do it. And was amazed about that. That's probably what made her look and more mature and more, she just felt like I had it more together than I did. But I feel like fitness and this type of fitness, having that young heart and everything and that energy and everything, it gives gives the class that energy it needs. And
Yeah.
so that's why I'm finding more and more this is what I'm supposed to be doing, because
Yes.
I didn't know it then, but this was supposed to be my path. This is what it and like I said, coming to Arizona earlier, when I was saying about my story coming to Arizona, I didn't know there was supposed to be a reason for me coming. I knew, oh, this is where my husband's going to work. This is where we're supposed to grow. Our family's supposed to grow. Where our connections are supposed to start. But like, I didn't think I needed to find what I was supposed to be here for, because we prayed about everything. I knew this is where our family would be, but did I know what my purpose was while being here? Orchestra, I felt that, and in the beginning, I felt that was where my beginning was. But as I've grown and everything, this is my next step here. I felt I've grown more friendships and more different people that I didn't really know well in beginning. I'm getting to know better that I knew of, but didn't know of well. And I'm trying to be more not so reserved and more open up to talking to people. And that's what, as an instructor, I've been forced to do. And so, fitness has opened different challenges to me. And that's like going back to learning and growing. I feel like I checked all the boxes for orchestra. Checked all the boxes. I challenged myself. I grew. I learned that setting. And I needed to continue to grow. And this is where my growth continues, is through high fitness. And I'm learning and growing through that. And so every time I learn a new track, thank you so much. learning a new tracker thing. They're all like I said, the moves are similar and everything, but like we also as instructors have to do the technical, get the technique down, get the
Yes.
cueing,
Yeah.
learn each of the modifications. And so I'm continually challenging myself and learning to do that and learning to make the correct cues and everything. And so it's just I just am enjoying it so much and finding out more about myself and about this person that I am learning to love more and more each day.